Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Curseof and welcome back to another round of the Summer Kickoff Tournament. Today we are here with round 2, the round 2 feature match, and we have two players that won their round 1 matches here chilling with us today. We have Tetra down on the bottom, a very well-known competitive player, one of the best. And then at the top here we have Klondike. His Discord name is different, but we're not going to worry about that. He's Klondike. And like I said, both these guys did win their first matches. I think they both actually 2-0'd their opponent. And yeah, this should be very interesting. And once again, we got Rook's table with me.
Hey everybody. Yeah, excited to see Tetra's deck this time. I remember when we commentated the last tournament you had. I think that was before the starter decks.
Yep, that was previous format.
I think he was playing Moth. So we'll see if he's still playing Moth. Oh, hide the cards, man. Hide the cards.
Oh, jeez, no.
Nah, you're good. Okay, looks like we're probably going to see Moth from Tetra, so he's sticking tried and true. Probably just through, actually, Warrior or Dark-Moth. Let's see. And then we got Twisted Personality on the Klondike side, so maybe we're seeing the Gravekeeper burn, regular burn, whatever. Tetra's starting going first. He lost the rock, paper, scissors there. Heavy back row from Tetra.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, like you said, Tetra is a well-known player that's pretty consistently good. Consistently top fours in our nice little communities round of tournaments that are regular. So I anticipate to see him kind of going far here. But we're starting with the Gravekeeper's Curse for Klondike.
Yep.
Let's see if we got the Wonder Wand.
There
and
it is.
Now, do we have a Twister on Tetra's side to get rid of that? Because he is going to be able to put them both into the grave to draw two, and that's usually when he draws all the stoppers.
Yep, every back row card possible.
Yeah, or the Rite of Spirits, what have you. And of course, he is getting counters on that Twisted Personality. So Tetra has to be careful here. In fact, twistering will only help Klondike, but sometimes it's got to be done. We got a full back row on both sides. Wow, this is fun.
End phase
and we're going
Zoma
to the
from
end phase.
Tetra. There we go.
Zoma.
But yeah, no, Wonder Wand is not only good too for that draw two and that heavy back row, but also keep those monsters off the field so you don't have to worry about that Moth. Obviously, you see the Weevil skill. He's probably playing Moth. Let's try and play around that.
Never show a monster's face against Moth until you absolutely think that you can get to the end. And Gravekeeper is a great combatant against Moth because Gravekeeper can whittle you down to like 1500 and then it can go in before you have a chance to get Parasite, or just make sure that you have something for Parasite like Twister. You might still see Moth, but you might have an answer. So we have Tetra with the Zoma here, and I think he's going to boldly swing into this back row. But yeah, Allure Darkness and banishing a Sphere Creepo. So no monsters on Klondike's side of the field, so nothing to worry about to Sphere. But we're going to see him spin into attack mode and start baiting out traps. Let's see what we got here. We're going to get Nightmare Wheeled. We are going to get Nightmare Wheeled.
Any response? Nope. We're just going to see Tetra pass here. He's going to take that big 500 in the standby, getting the second counter on Klondike's Twisted Personality, and we might see him ditch a card from Tetra's hand, might see him summon a curse and just pop. We have lots of options with the burn decks, so
that's the conflict that I always have when I'm playing the burn deck is if I got a curse out right here, that puts me to 3. And then if I want to, the only thing I could pop is Zoma, but I feel like I wasted my Nightmare Wheel. I want to get at least 2 turns out of Nightmare Wheel. So it looks like he is going to take down the 2 counters to discard. And Tetra's telling him to roll die.
Tetra likes that randomization, it seems here.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if I agree with that because obviously, like, you don't know, but I get it. Like, I usually do odds and evens, one or the other, depending on if it's 2 cards or maybe 1, or 3 cards. Obviously, if it's just the 1, you have to roll die. But I see that. Yeah, so there's the curse. So now he's getting the stacks back. He can only do the Twisted Personality once per turn. So we saw the discard there. But yeah, keeping the Zoma out to get some burn off Nightmare Wheel. And now let's see, he does have a monster out in the open, so Tetra can Parasite. One thing we saw from Tetra in the last tournament is that he's very patient. I think that he held on to a Dust Tornado like all game, one game, and then finally popped it where it mattered at the end.
Exactly, so, yeah. We do see, it seemed like he was thinking there in the end phase, but we did not see him opt to do anything here. What is actually in Tetra's grave? Let me just do some maneuvering here. We have a Newdoria and a Allure. Okay.
Eudoria was ditched into the graveyard and the Allure Darkness, and he banished the Sphere Creepo. So now it's Tetra's draw, and he's going into his main. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. He flipped the Decoichi, Battle Channel Locomotive, so that's going to get the flip effect draw for 3 cards in Tetra's hand. So even with the Twisted Personality drop from Klondike, Tetra still has the momentum to get the card draw. And a card like Decoichi is great to use in this deck because it's also an Allure of Darkness target. So he's going to set another card here.
Yeah, just increasing that consistency that Moth already had which is absolutely absurd. Obviously, Klondike's going to take that little bit of damage to get that extra counter on his Twisted Personality. No one's going to complain about that.
Yeah, absolutely. All damage is good damage. Get those counters up. And we are going to see a Zoma here. Tetra's going to let it happen.
All right, there we go. There's that end phase Zoma. Obviously a very, very big play, a very, very common play to see coming out lately here. And yeah, a nice thing to see too about this is that this is actually a basically the two best decks in the format having a nice showdown here. So I'm very interested to see where this goes.
Right, and Tetra being scrappy even without showing the Parasite yet. We have 3 counters on Twisted Personality, so popping the Dekoichi is safe. He's not going to have to sacrifice his Nightmare Wheel, or he could do a discard here, and it looks like he's going to try and keep that hand short, especially if he can snipe a Parasite or the Moth, then that might just be all he needs, really. Let's see what we got here.
Ooh, Lava Golem. That's a very solid hit there. This is game 1, isn't it? Is Tetra main decking the Lava Golem?
You got to main deck the Lava Golem, man. Oh, he's so sad about it. So, yeah, and I think he just drew that. So that would have probably, yeah, that would have been an easy next turn tribute because he had the Zoma. So Lava Golem would have had to swing in the Zoma. And there's another Dekoichi. I figured that was another Dekoichi. Now, his field's a little full of Dekoichis, so
no room
if you
for
want
Moth.
to summon a real monster, it's not going to happen yet. Unless he has something like Gap or Dark Ruler Hades. Like, those are the good tributes right now. Yeah. He's going right into battle phase, though, and trying to clear out with Dekoichi. Actually, Dekoichi's pretty good against Zoma here because it's a lower attack monster, so he'll be able to clear it out and stay alive.
That wheel, obviously, though, doing that big burn damage here, and Tetra taking that big 100. If he swings Dekoichi into that Zoma, he will die to wheel on the following turn.
Oh, you're right. He will die to wheel.
That extra 100 damage, so relevant.
And Gravekeeper's Recruiter with a mighty 1500 defense.
Tetra must have just set the Dust Tornado this turn. He must have just set the Dust Tornado. He's probably going to pop that and draw, I'd assume.
I mean, interesting to see.
There we go.
Oh, yep. Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, I'm interested to see what that back left card is because he set that like turn 1 or 2.
Oh,
okay, we have
there's a curse.
Curse. Drop DD Crow. Are we dropping DD Crow?
Oh, could you? If Tetra's main decking DD Crow, I don't know.
No way, he's not main. I don't think anyone's main decking DD Crow, but there's the Red Spirit Curse. Just burn him for the last 500. That's the thing about Gravekeeper burn decks is that the endings are so anticlimactic.
Oh,
like,
they
it's
truly
just,
are.
Oh yeah, okay. Summon Curse back. I guess it's over. But yeah, no, a good side for Tetra here would be DD Crow. Something that maybe not everybody thinks about is yeah, if they have a curse in the graveyard and they activate Rite of Spirit, you drop DD Crow to the graveyard and it banishes curse out of the graveyard. And if it's their only Gravekeeper monster, Rite of Spirit fizzles out. And obviously if it was their only curse, maybe they get a recruiter back or what have you, but you don't take that burn damage. So good side for Tetra potentially. We'll see what he's got.
Yeah, no, DD Crow definitely a bit of an underrated card. Obviously really, really good against the Gravekeeper burn matchup here, stopping those potential rights. And decently, or really, really good against a tier 3 deck being relinquished. Now, you don't see a lot of it, but if you do run into it and it does get that lock on the go and you don't have a DD Crow, it can be a real pain. So,
well, clearly Tetra is thinking long and hard on if he wants to put those DD Crows in. I don't know what his deck list is, but I mean, six side card slots is not a lot. You got to really think about what you're putting in there. So we're going into game 2 here with fresh win for Klondike. Tetra is
he's down a game. Yeah.
Up here. Yeah, he is down a game. Gravekeeper's burn will do it. And just too much time to pass. You got too many wills down. Also a good side against Gravekeeper is the Ladybug.
Yes, 100%. Especially in the Moth deck with the ability to recycle that Ladybug too if they do end up hitting it with their Twisted Personality.
Of course, it's an insect, so you still get to win because you're Moth. We're seeing some pretty defensive sets here in the beginning. Klondike obviously playing it safe because any Moth opening hand could be the one, and you could lose in a turn for real. So, oh, we're gonna flip
go
Gravekeeper's
aggressive here. Okay, potentially.
Do we have the Wonder Wand?
Oh, we're seeing a tribute pop sets. Let's stop that Newdoria. Stop those Dekoichis. Let's get those off the field.
A lot of Gravekeeper burn decks run. I think a lot of them run 1 Oracle.
Yes.
Maybe some run 2. So to naturally draw Oracle is a little surprising. typically you're using Recruiter to get Oracle when the time is right, maybe a Rite of Spirit set. He's getting Recruiter's effect right now because that card did go to the graveyard. He's getting another Recruiter. But yeah, Oracle to pop sets is huge.
Get rid of that Dekoichi. None of that drop power. But yeah, like you said, most decks are running one Oracle, maybe a second one in the side deck, but we do not see very many thrown in the main deck here at 2 of. So
yeah, now seemingly defenseless, Tetra has to pop the Zoma here. So if Klondike is gonna refrain from swinging over that and taking 2,000 himself.
Here comes the big Allure of Darkness. Let's find those Parasite Paranoids. Let's get this Recruiter off the field. There's the DD Crow.
No way, there's the DD Crow. Oh, so he did side it. There's the Parasite.
Yep.
Yeah,
he has all of it.
Unfortunately, that was all he needed. I don't know if it was smart to not attack the Zoma. I think it didn't matter either way. Because like once you have the monster on the field against Moth, you better make sure that you're going super aggressive or you have the tools you need. Otherwise, this is going to happen.
And there's the one in hand.
God. Like two Moths and Zoma is still on the field.
And this is the +2, the big old +2, and the really, really big board presence. And that's the great thing too about Dark-Moth and why it is so much better than Warrior Moth. Not only do you consistently get to your parasites, but you also consistently drop double Moth. It is an absolutely absurd deck.
It's amazing how consistent you drop double Moth, just having one in your hand. Now, we have answers for both. We have a Nightmare Wheel on one Moth, which surprisingly Tetra doesn't have, a Magic Removal 4, and we have a Zoma here for the second Moth. So that attack's going to replay. Tetra can opt to swing into that Zoma with the Moth. He's going to stop that Moth's attack and instead just take the 1,800 from his Zoma. Yeah. And he's going to be taking 500 from that Nightmare Wheel eventually, but his field is looking beautiful. Just, par for the course with the Moth deck.
Exactly, yeah. Tetra could not allow that Moth to swing over that Zoma there. Obviously, Nightmare Wheel would end the game for him, and even if he did have a Dust Tornado, just putting yourself within curse range is just not an option, as we've seen in Game 1.
Yeah, you can't even get, really under 1,000 at all. Otherwise, it just seems so, you just find out, you just realize you have lethal in your hand, and it's over.
Very, very true, very true. These burn decks are honestly so scary with how quickly they can just get you down. And if you're low, there's that curse. See, if Tetra was fucking with Moth, it was over. 100%.
It would be cool to see here's Lava Golem on Klondike's side.
Oh, that would be absurd.
Moth is consistently getting out 2 monsters at a time when it pops off. Obviously, you'd never want it to pop off. Hopefully, you can play around and get the snipe with the discard, etc. But he's going to pop him off here with the Twisted Personality counters, which is also pretty good. But yeah, I don't know if he'd be running Sphere Karibo here because it's a good deck to side Sphere Karibo against because sometimes Moth completely wipes out all your resources on the board and you need a way to survive the next turn. There's Sphere Karibo. It looks like we don't have one here, but we have more Zomas.
Oh, the Zomas don't stop, man. They're absolutely crazy. This is one of the genuine best cards in the entire format. I don't think there's a single deck that is not running this card. Even Gaia is running Zoma. Zoma is absolutely absurd.
Stop. Gaia's not running Zoma.
No, don't lie to me.
Once.
Don't lie to me. It's running Zoma.
This is going to be a swing over curse for 1,000. And consolation prize for the Twisted Personality deck. You get the counters even when you start burning. But there's a Rite of Spirit for curse. Ooh, we saw it.
Oh,
we saw it. He sided 2 DD Crows. That's commitment. That's commitment right there. Or
that
was
is
it?
Commitment.
Yeah. You just put it back in the hand.
Crazy. I guess.
You dropping it?
I guess he needs to know target.
Target should be how many cards in the grave? What's his graveyard? What's Klondike's graveyard?
He has 3 targets potential.
So he could still get Oracle out and do some damage. Actually, no, he wouldn't want to because beating over Zoma would be deadly.
Yep, there we go. So we see Klondike saying target curse, and we are going to see Tetra obviously respond to that curse target there, and just stop that Rite of Spirit. I guess that's why Tetra did take that back. Obviously, you need to know the target before you can worry about DD Crow. But that is huge.
Sure. Yeah, the DD Crow play on Gravekeeper Burn is huge, and that was his only curse in the grave. So DD Crow is a great, kind of mid-range or even early card if it's the only Gravekeeper or only curse in the grave. Yeah, and now Klondike is super on the defensive here. Clinging to that one Nightmare Wheel.
The third Zoma. If that's not a Sphere Karibo in hand, or that's not a Newdoria set, this is over. and that's not an Edoria. We need Sphere Karibo in hand to survive. If that's a Sphere Karibo, he 100% wins.
Oh my god.
Okay, if Tetra didn't set a Dust Tornado, he 100% wins.
Holy cow. Is this... Yeah, because he's got the curse in hand, right?
Yep, so that Dust Tornado was absolutely huge.
Okay, so we're still alive here. Oh god, it's scary. So
if how do you...
Klondike's gonna have to get... I think Klondike loses.
Yeah, right doesn't get him here.
He doesn't have another curse engraved. So his ideal hand here would be Curse, Rite of Spirit. And then on the draw phase of Tetra, he writes the second curse. But he has no curse engraved. He would have to just normal summon a curse and then accept his fate, really.
Yeah, I mean, Tetra top decked that Dust Tornado, and that just ended it. Klondike would have had the entire match if it wasn't for that Dust Tornado. Yep, and that is going to be it. Klondike realizes that that's over, and wow, that was such a close game.
It was a great game. Tetra with the Dust Tornadoes for sure. Hitting him at just the right time.
Yeah, really though. Wow. And that DD Crow was huge.
Yes, I was so glad we got to see that on camera. The DD Crow play.
If you're not siding DD Crow, side it.
It might convince some people to side it that aren't. I mean, deck lists are locked, guys. Don't change your decks for this tournament. Next time, I know Tetra's got a tournament coming up. You can submit the deck list for him with DD Crow in it.
Oh.
There's the Ladybug, so all the sides coming out on Tetra's side.
There we go. This is going to make Klondike's job a lot harder here, as most of the burn is going to be completely negated from this Golden Ladybug.
Yeah, this is really frustrating because summoning a curse feels bad just because the 500 does nothing. You really have to overwhelm with like Oracle on the field and wow, and of course it's a Dust Tornado. He's running like 6 Dust Tornadoes. Somebody check his deck. There's no draw power there with the Wonder Wand. He's going to get a free 1200 in, which does give him a counter. So hey, there's your pity prize. But we're going into Tetra's turn now, 4 cards, and let's see if he has the Parasite. I almost said the Insect. Yeah, because you have a obviously Klondike wanted to get Gravekeeper's Recruiter off the field so it wouldn't get parasited.
Oh god, here it goes.
That Dust Tornado was so good for the Wonder Wand. You think Dust Tornadoing a Wonder Wand is like not maybe that great, but the problem is that it kept Recruiter on the field so he could Parasite. And if he has the Moth in the hand, wow.
He didn't draw though. He didn't draw. He just has it.
Yeah, he just has it. Oh no, you always have to assume that Moth players just have it. They just have it.
Oh my god.
But I don't know. We could still see Nightmare Wheel and Zoma here in the back row. Have we seen any other trap besides like Dust Tornado, Nightmare Wheel, and Zoma? Zoma would be really, really good here, especially because he's at 38. I mean, it didn't matter. Yeah. Oh no, he does love Ladybug, doesn't he? He's going to battle.
Yeah, dusting that. Okay, we're gonna see right. Oh my god.
Okay, he's gonna take 35 here, and he's gonna Nightmare Wheel one Moth.
God,
man,
DD Crow, absolutely taking lives.
Yeah.
What
the
hell?
Card. All the quick effects in the Moth deck right now. It's so, yeah, it's just so big brain. Like you think, dropping stuff to the grave, no problem. If you had a quick play Twister there, it would have been over.
Yeah, that's absurd. Yeah, could you imagine if he just dropped Twister from the hand?
That would have been overkill. Now, Klondike does have 3 counters on Twisted Personality, so all that bad stuff that just happened to him wasn't completely lost. So we got a Nightmare Wheel on one Moth. We're gonna pop the other Moth.
No other option.
So that'll definitely buy us a turn. If Tetra has like anything he can normal summon, even like the Dekoichi, I bet you he took the Dekoichis out for like stuff like DD Crow. Because Dekoichi's kind of like a good deck thinner and a lower darkness target, but he might have taken those out. So he's gonna take the Moth out with
his Twisted Personality. Yeah.
And now he needs to see if he can say he's got 3 cards in hand, so he should be able to set up a pretty good defense here. Or maybe he has a Spear Karibo, but Tetra just has to normal summon 1 monster to get the pressure back on, or have the Twister for Nightmare Wheel. Okay, there's a T set.
Yep. Okay. So that could potentially be a curse because I don't feel like it's safe at all to just normal summon curse here with Tetra's Curtain.
You know that there's you're not feeling too good when you got to set the curse. It's always so melancholy, yeah.
And yeah, Tetra's just going to keep on gaining these life points here. He really has absolutely no worries that Nightmare Wheel isn't actually doing any damage. It is gaining counters now, mind you, but damage-wise, it's not doing anything. And Klondike just isn't putting on enough pressure right now. And Dust Tornado, gonna remove that wheel. Oh boy.
Now we're left with the T set from Klondike's last turn, but what is it? I bet you that back row is another Rite of Spirit, and he's just kind of waiting for a target.
DD Crow.
If Moth beats over, yeah, right. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another one in hand. Yeah,
Wonder
he was
Wand?
just kind of waiting for a target. Do we have? Yeah, why would he put this in attack? Or is he going to tribute for Oracle?
That's big. That's big.
Okay, minus 2,000, 2,000. That puts Moth to 15. We saw this in our remote duel too. That puts Moth at 15. So Oracle actually has a shot to beat over this other Moth, and it's also a 500 hit, life point hit to Tetra. And if you can get over both Moths, typically, I mean, we have all the skills been used. You're not going to see this again.
Oh, but he can't attack the Moth.
You can't attack insects with Parasite. The rare, you don't see this that often. Parasite Paranoid's effect. I don't know if people decide to read the whole card, but one of the effects is can't target insects. So Moth is going to stay alive. Parasite's just chilling. We don't even need to tribute anything. The skill's already used. Oh, and what are we doing here? We have Gap the Divine Soldier.
Oh my, yeah. Gap.
That's so rude.
He says I don't need that Moth anymore.
Wow, tributing Moth. That's So this is gonna go to the grave, and I bet you that back row is a Rite of Spirit. Let's see if he activates it here.
And that's a DD Crow in hand.
Yeah, I know. What's the answer here? What's the out? Because anything he puts out on the field has got to be in attack position, because Gap the Divine Soldier, and Gap beats over every Gravekeeper's monster in Klondike's deck, including Oracle. And Oracle can't get his effect back out unless he has a second Oracle, which I doubt.
Yeah, I don't know which. Like, is that just it? Like, what do you do right now?
Oh, it's so sad.
This is such a slaughter, man. That golden ladybug. Actually, no, that's golden ladybug in hand, isn't it?
Tetra oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a ladybug in hand. The fact that Tetra was able to get the whole Moth play out, and then Klondike just was so scrappy and figured out a way to get both Moths off the field, and Tetra will not be able to do that again because his skill's exhausted. Still going to lose to something like Gap.
Yeah. Gap is such a good addition to this deck. Even
really
when you
addition.
don't have Parasite Paranoid or the skill effect, Gap still just wins you games.
Yeah, and Gap is obviously a no-brainer addition to Moth because everybody's trying to set defensively against Moth, but Gap just says, all right, thanks for letting me set my Nidoria for free. I'm going to tribute it for Gap, and now show me what you got.
Yeah, Moth's one weakness is completely negated by Gap.
Yeah, exactly. But we're seeing a pass here to Tetra, and gaining 500 life points with the Ladybug. So really just working off the top deck here. Unless he normal summons that Ladybug for that sweet 500 for the game. I'd love to see Ladybug attack for game.
Ladybug is 0-0.
Oh, I thought it was 500, 500. Oh, shoot. Well, okay. Well, still, you could attack with it.
Gap just used his effect to gain extra attack. You never see that used. You never see that used.
That's right, because each fiend monster in your hand. Oh, you can get the effect and then summon. That's rude. Oh man,
what were these sets,
Tetra
man?
The Rite of Spirit. Okay, that was the Rite of Spirit, and then we had a Zoma, and he was going to clearly, he would gladly plow over that Zoma and take that damage. He was just going to win anyway. Yeah. And it seems like Klondike didn't have any spheres.
Oh no, and the thing is too is that even if he could summon out these monsters, they're all forced to attack. There's absolutely nothing Klondike can do.
Right.
Yeah. And there's Klondike showing him off.
Yep. Yeah, and the hand wasn't doing him anything either. But good stuff for Tetra, obviously, living up to his reputation as one of the better players here in the tournaments that the community hosts. Also, please, guys, check out his YouTube channel, Tetra Speed Duel.
It's down below.
He is, it is going to be in the description below. So he does a lot of the Yugioh videos for Speed Duel too. So obviously he's a better player than us, so you should check him out too.
Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, make sure you go ahead, check out Tetra, as Rook just said. He'll be linked under Rook's channel, because Rook is down there too. Check him out as well. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap, guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out this round 2 feature match with me and Rook. And I will see you guys not tomorrow, but the following day for round 3. That's a wrap, guys. Peace.